Welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara O'Brien. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Zoe Lyons and Marcus Brigstock, Chris Addison, Hugh Dennis and Gary Delaney. We start tonight with a round called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Gary, which category would you like?
I would like home news, please, Dara.
OK, the category is home news and the answer is 35 billion. What is the question?
Is it, how many times have people hit refresh on the NatWest website this week?
Is it, in fact, how much I told the NatWest call centre I have in my account at the moment?
Is it what is God's next significant birthday?
Is it how many days do we have left of the Olympic torch relay?
After how many years does a bottle of Sillet Bang become safe to handle?
Is it how many calories there are in a cheese and Eric Pickles sandwich?
Is it, in fact, if you borrow a pound off Wonga.com...
Is it, according to the Daily Mail, how many children does an average Somalian family have?
How many episodes have there been of the long-running drama Monsoon Poultry?
You've got to stop going on about that, Hugh. You've just got to buck up! Is it what number Dappy from N-Dubs is in Line to the Throne?
How much will I win if Warhorse wins the Derby?
Is it how many years older than her face does Madonna's neck look?
Is it how many extra tissues have been used worldwide since the publication of 50 Shades of Grey?
Is it very moving then? Is it?
Yeah.
Makes you cry, is it? I've not read it.
I'm going to move towards
I think I know the answer. Is it how many comedians have phoned their accountants this week?
Is this actually how much is our tax gap in the UK?
That's absolutely right. Thank you very much, Zoe Lyons. Well done. Very good. Yes. The question I was looking for was, how much money does the Treasury lose due to tax avoidance in a year? This comes in a week when a number of famous faces were linked to tax avoidance schemes. Prime Minister David Cameron was criticised for singling out comedian Jimmy Carr's behaviour as morally wrong, while remaining silent on other individuals' questionable tax arrangements. So, who wants to comment on this? Who wants to get onto their moral high horse?
The thing was, though, wasn't it? The viewing figures for 8 out of 10 Cats doubled last week.
Yes.
So I think it's only fair, as you as the host of Mock the Week, either you need to do some dodgy accountancy practices, or maybe just host a prostitute Nazi party, and we all expect an invite.
Right, can I do plan B?
I've got a brilliant tax avoidance scheme that I use personally. It's just earn sod all. That's how I...
This scheme, basically the K2 scheme,
Yes.
was where they hide your money for a while and then give it you back at a later date.
Yes.
Now, there's a much easier way of doing that. Just bank with NatWest.
I feel sorry for Jersey, because they're now trying to shake off the sort of tax avoidance tag and get back to their traditional reputation as Nazi sympathisers.
And they all have really aggressive names. They're called K2 and Peak Performance and Icebreaker. It is very difficult to tell tax avoidance schemes from protein shakes. But they do sound like something that will both save you money and build muscle mass. Do you know I feel really bad for this? Do you know who I think is a real...
Is it the children?
No, not the children.
I know you care about the children. What the hell? You
No, I don't not care about the children. Well, do you know what I feel sorry? Do you know what I feel sorry for? Alan Carr. Alan Carr has probably in the last week fielded any number of questions from people who didn't quite know which one it was. Like, Alan Carr is just about shaking off people going, how do I stop smoking? And now he's going to talk about tax avoidance.
The person I feel sorry for is the lady who's apparently got the @NatWest Twitter name, a lady called Natalie Westerman. The amount of abuse she's had this week.
And none of us can claim complete cleanliness in terms of tax avoidance, particularly if you're self-employed anyway, because there were schemes that were picked up, film investment schemes, for example, that a lot of people had put money into. I myself, and I feel we just have to say this, I'm part of a film investment scheme. I put all my savings into the big budget production of Monsoon Poultry Hospital. I think it's right. Well, you're involved as well. I mean, because I play the role of Morag the nurse. Monsoon Poultry Hospital. I think we're going to make a lot of money back. It's it's me and you are involved.
To buy Alfred Hitchcock.
It's nice to know where the budget for this show goes, isn't it?
I want to note, by the way, how well I look as a nurse. Surprisingly fitting. Big shoulders.
You've got a hint of the readers' wives about you there.
If you turned up at my bed in a hospital, I'd discharge myself.
Listen, I have no surprise, no doubt you'd discharge yourself. Why have Michael Gove and Nick Clegg clashed recently?
It's Goove, as in movement. It's pronounced Goove.
It's pronounced
Michael
Gove.
Yeah, Michael Goove. Yeah.
Michael Gove?
It's Michael Goove, yeah.
Literally, you could say this and I would have to go with it, because I have
it's
no
true.
idea. But
It's
I'm
true,
hoping...
it's pronounced Goove.
OK, why have Michael Gove and Nicholas Clegg... Why have Michael Thing and...
Because Michael Gove announced a massive education reform proposal and didn't tell either David Cameron or Nick Clegg or anyone else, including his friends and family.
That's what it's about, isn't it? They're looking to sort of bring back O and A levels because they think that sort of GCSEs have been devalued by people getting too many good grades. And I don't think that is the issue. It's just that they moved the marking centre to Liverpool, so now it's all A.
After tuition fees, though, Nick Clegg talking anything about education is somewhat tricky, isn't it, for him? And obviously, you know, I feel that students will never, ever forgive him for his U-turn on tuition fees. So maybe he should just go the other way and actually have more of a go at students, because I think it could be a vote winner. You know, so maybe try and tax Lynx aftershave, tax super noodles, tax people with their pants showing. I think it could be on something.
So is it weird? Because I didn't come to that system. Is it like...
No, I think it shows. I think it shows.
I did come to a system, thank you very much.
What system did you come through then?
I came to the Irish education system.
The Irish education system,
Where
that's
we don't tinker quite as much as you do with the system. Don't make that joke. Don't make that joke. Anyway...
It's been the same for years, the Irish education system, hasn't it? Because you're graded from Toorai A's down to Fiddly D's.
We're all looking for the Chris Addison, the Dublin gig on the next tour.
No, but is it going with the O-levels? Was it some special magical time, the O-levels?
The O-levels?
Yes. Is it?
It was a magical time, but it was roughly the same time as I lost my virginity, that's why.
So is
That was a hell of a French oral.
Is calling for the O-levels the political equivalent of going, oh, I wish they put Top of the Pops back on? Is it like that?
Yeah,
It's like just
spinsters on bikes. He basically wants the 80s back.
He wants everyone driving an Austin Allegro, because they were great, those cars.
Michael
Do I get the impression you lost your virginity in an Austin Allegro? Is that the...
He lost his virginity to an Austin Allegro. That's...
Austin
My God, that
Allegro.
exhaust pipe was hot.
I lost mine to an escort. Does that count?
At the end of that round, the points go to Chris, Hugh and Gary. Our next round is called Newsreel, replaying a recent piece of footage featuring people in the news and asks Hugh to suggest what might be being said. This week's clip features the Prince of Wales.
Right, here we go. Next pub, 5 down, 4 to go, 6 pints in each. Oh, what an enormous television. You can put your hand right through. How do you do that? Is it 3D? It's very real. Look,
That's because we are real, you see. This is a serving hutch in a pub.
Yes, I knew that. Anyway, I tell you what, I'll have a pint of that, please.
That is a charity collecting tape.
Is Yes, I knew that. In that case, I'll have whatever's in the barrel. A pint of clunge plunger, please. A packet of porky scratchings. Unless you've got any biscuits, touchy originals, I don't have to pay for them, you see, because I own the company. Anyway, I was saying to these fellas here, I only drink warm bitter at the moment. Yes, well, you would if you spent 4 hours on a sodding royal barge. Yes, feel that. Still freezing. It's weeks ago. Freezing. Feel my hands. Yes. Oh, look, lovely. Here's a pint of bitter. I love bitter, don't you? It's almost as British as Will.i.am wants to be. Anyway, down the hatch. Get it down, you Zulu warrior. And it's... Oh, no, that's a bit off, I think. It's, yes, I tell you what, I think the old pipes need a bit of a clean, as they said to Prince Philip. I tell you what, here's a question. Are pints getting smaller, or is my hand getting bigger? Show me the way to go home. Can you show me the way to go home? To be honest, it could be almost anywhere, because I have an enormous number of homes. And tell you what, why don't you join us on the next stage of the pub crawl? I think it might be the Crown and the Sceptre. It's as close as I'm going to get to either of them.
Well done, Q. Well done, mate. OK, now we play a round called Shut Your Loophole. This game involves Gary, Zoe and Chris, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is the stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is the internet. Who wants to come in on that? Zoe.
Ah, the internet. Love the internet. Actually, that actually reminds me, because got to keep an eye on the time. I'm bidding on something on eBay this evening. It's Greece. It's just me in Germany going head-to-head. Fingers crossed. Oh, God. I've actually got one of those Twitter trolls. I'm hip with the kids. I've got a Twitter troll. They're horrible things, though, these Twitter trolls, because they send you abuse online, and the thing I really hate about it is it's anonymous. That's what really annoys me. But just awful things they say. You're not funny, Zoe Lyons. Call yourself a comedian. Of all of my children, you're the least favourite. Junk mail as well, and people find it annoying, junk mail, but I think it's always worth going through. You know, you might miss a bargain. Only this week I went through my junk mail, and now I have cleverly consolidated all of my bank accounts into one Nigerian account. And I have a much bigger penis.
OK, let's spin the wheel again. Travel. Who wants to come in on that?
I'll do that.
Chris.
It's getting very expensive to travel abroad. I don't fly abroad anymore. You could go by EasyJet, but I don't fly EasyJet. I'm too scared to fly EasyJet. I'm sure they're perfectly safe. I'm sure that their pilots are second to none, best planes you could ask for. But imagine if you were on an EasyJet flight, eh? And you did crash on a snowy mountain top. You all survived. Would you want to eat those people? I won't have a shepherd's pie from Asda. I'm not having some woman in cerise leggings. It's not happening. EasyJet is essentially a middle-class plot to keep BA to ourselves. That's what we've done. It's the same reason we're opening M&S Food on the motorway. That's so we've got somewhere to stop where we're not sat next to somebody going, "What's a cocking panini?" I know! Thank God. Waitrose on the motorway, right, which is... I was in Waitrose, and not on the motorway. I was in Waitrose near where I live, and there was a woman ahead of me in the basket queue. She had 2 items in her basket. She had a tin of